Hello, welcome to SarahLeeCraftDesigns. Okay, so the last tutorial I did, we covered the basics of slip knot, chains, single crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet. For this tutorial, I would love to cover how to do the moss stitch. I went ahead and decided to use the same exact color yarn because I feel like it really shows up the best against my white background. And so we're going to go ahead and start with the slip knot. So remember how we do this? We take our two fingers here and we're going to wrap it around like that. And then we're going to pull it through like that. That is our slip knot. Okay, and then I'm using, again, I highly recommend 4.5 mm hook. Highly recommend that. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in. And what's so great about the moss stitch, you don't even need to have a specific number of chains. It just needs to end in an even number. That's it. You know how some patterns will say make 10 chains and then leave three more chains or 4 more chains or something like that. That's not the case. So go ahead and just do, for me, I'm just going to do like 20. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so there's 20 chains right there. And so I'm going to get some more yarn here. All you're going to do is skip the first stitch or the first chain here. So do not go into this one. You want to go into this one right here. The second chain, the second loop. Okay, from your hook. Single crochet. Okay, and then chain 1. Okay, and then you see that next loop, you're going to skip that chain and go into the next one. Single crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then go ahead and chain 1 again. Okay, you're going to repeat that. So skip that next one, go in this, and there you go, yarn over, pull through 2, and then go ahead and chain 1. So you see this one right here? You want to skip that. You're going to go into the second. So you're going to every other stitch. You're making a single crochet and you're just chaining 1. So it's very, very simple. So skip and then go into this one, yarning over and then pulling through 2, chain 1. Skip this stitch, yarn over, pull through, and chain 1. See? Isn't this pretty? I really, really, really love moss stitch. The first time I found the moss stitch, it was actually to make kitchen items. It's very popular for like washcloths and uh, towel holders and things like that. I use moss stitch for everything. Baby blankets. Um, I even use it for like making ornaments. I use it for everything. And then look, see, here is our last stitch. You just go through that last one. See, right there. And you just do your last single crochet. Pull through there. And you're still doing your chain. And then you're going to flip your work. Isn't that cool? That is the moss stitch. That is so simple, right? Okay, so you guys can keep going like this. This is where you want to pay attention, okay? So if you have not gotten to the end of your work yet and you're not ready to flip, go ahead and pause the video and continue your row. But if you're ready to flip and you are ready to do your second row, pay attention to what I'm going to do. Because if you do this incorrectly, then you'll get confused. But it's still fun, okay? So you've already chained one from the previous row. So you're going to go in to this hole. See the hole? See the holes? So not these big gaps, not the big gaps, these little holes here, okay? So go into a hole. You go into the first little hole right here, the closest one to the chain. You just do a single crochet, and then you're doing a chain one. There's the next one right there. You're going to go through there and make another single crochet, chain one. There's your next one. You see that? You're going to go through there. It's basically an upside down triangle. That's how I learned how to look for them. They're upside down triangles because you see 1 and 2 and 3. Boop. There we go. You guys are doing so great. You've got this. We are having so much fun, and that is what crochet is all about. You could be working on a project right now. If you are, comment, let me know what you're working on. I would love to know. I'm working on so many different things at the same time. It's so funny how that works. So I'm a graduate student online, and my schedule is so much busier since I started classes, but I am loving being a graduate student. And when I crochet, which I don't get to crochet nearly as much as I would like to, but when I do crochet, it is my time to just breathe. I highly recommend this to anybody, but especially, okay, so we just got down to the end. So you just put it in that last loop right there. Right there. Especially college students, moms, anybody who just needs to decompress. I mean, we all need to decompress, but anybody who just needs an outlet for their stress. Okay, so just make another chain, flip your work. And guess what, you guys? You officially know how to make a moss stitch. You're going to go through that first one, make a single crochet, and then a chain, and then you're making, you see your little triangle, your upside down triangle right there. You're going to go in there, you're going to do another single crochet, chain one, look for your upside down triangle right there. Perfect. and then you're going to pull through. Awesome. You guys are doing so good. So you're going to keep going. You guys are going to keep going. And this is by far one of the easiest things, patterns, well, not patterns, stitches to learn. At least for me. That's how it was for me. And it's also very stretchy. It has a good stretch to it. But also, okay, so when you crochet, you guys will notice this, especially beginners, you will notice some crochet stitches have like lots of holes, and you're just like, okay, what kind of stitch am I supposed to use for something that I don't want to have a lot of holes? Moss stitch. Look at this, you guys. You still have really pretty detailing, but you don't have like super wide gap, like wide gaping holes. I mean, it's really, really, really minimal with like the holes. So, like I said, you can make a baby blanket out of this. You could make clothes out of this stitch. You could do washcloths. I've done washcloths. In fact, if you guys want to see some of my work that I've already completed, I can show that to you. Working with different fabric yarn also makes a difference, but that is what's nice about the moss stitch as well. It just lays very nicely. It doesn't curl in as much either. So it looks curly right now, but that's just because, you know, you're at the beginning of your work. But that is the moss stitch, you guys. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. So that is how you do the moss stitch. So if you guys want to see more tutorials on how to do different stitches, hit subscribe, hit like, whatever you want to do in order to see more of my Sarah Lee Craft Design videos. Go for it. I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I will see you guys later, okay? Have a good day or a good night whenever you watch this, and keep crocheting. Even if you get frustrated with yourself, keep crocheting. That is what it's all about, is picking up this hook, picking up your yarn, and enjoying yourself, relaxing.